U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that voter ID requirements will be in place for the upcoming midterm elections, whether Congress approves them or not. In a post on his social media, Trump vowed to take executive action if necessary, declaring, "There will be voter ID for the midterm elections, whether approved by Congress or not." His comments come as the Republican-backed Save America Act narrowly passed the House and now faces an uncertain path in the Senate.
Which one? We have a lot of negotiations.
No, with the government shutdown.
This is a Democrat shutdown. This has nothing to do with Republicans. This is a Democrat shutdown. They're upset that the crime numbers are so good. They're very unhappy that the crime numbers are so good. They're very unhappy that there's a movement for getting voter ID. They want voter ID. The population, 98%, want voter ID. They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat in elections. They also want other things. They don't want mail-in ballots. They want to end mail-in ballots, which is corrupt. And one other thing that they're insisting on is proof of citizenship. And the Democrats don't want to give proof of citizenship. They don't want to give voter ID. Think of it. Who would want proof of citizenship? I ask you, Steve. Who would want voter ID? And why would you want mail-in ballots if you know it's corrupt? It's a corrupt system. We're the only country in the world that has this system of mail-in ballots. Think of it. The only country in the world that has this system of mail-in ballots, because they cheat. And the fact is they could never get elected if they ever changed. They know if you had voter ID, if you had proof of citizenship, they could never win an election. And they know that, and they're fighting to the hill. And I put this down with men playing in women's sports. I put it down with transgender for everybody. I put it down with their horrible open border policy as being ridiculous. They don't want voter ID, no voter ID. And I put that down in the same category with men playing in women's sports. I'm going to add a fourth category. They don't want voter ID. Go ahead.
The legislation would require voters to present government-issued photo identification at polling places and provide proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote in federal elections.
Let me talk about the Save America Act. You've heard a lot about it this morning. It is very important. Another thing that is very important to the American people, and another thing the polls show that everybody's in favor of. Common sense legislation to just ensure that American citizens decide American elections. It really is that simple. Remember, House Republicans have already passed the SAVE Act here in the last Congress and the current Congress. I was one of the original champions when we first had the press conference out on the House step to introduce the SAVE Act. Chip Roy and I, and Mike Lee in the Senate, and others were there to say that this is long overdue because we know that non-citizens have been participating in elections, and it was a simple thing to say that we need to make sure you have to have proof of citizenship when you register to vote. Everybody should be in favor of that. I mean, it's what the law requires and anticipates, and we've got to make sure it happens. So now we have the Save America Act. It's identical legislation as the SAVE Act on the proof of citizenship, but as you heard, now voters would have to display a valid ID to participate in federal elections.
Republicans argue the measure ensures that only eligible citizens cast ballots, pointing to polls that show broad public support for voter ID requirements. But Democrats strongly oppose the legislation. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called the bill dead on arrival, arguing it would make it harder for millions of Americans to vote.
We've got to get this done, and we've got to get it done very quickly. The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
The debate also raises constitutional questions. Last year, Trump signed an executive order seeking to require documentary proof of citizenship when registering to vote. That order was challenged in court, and a federal judge ruled that the president does not have the authority to unilaterally reshape federal election processes. The Constitution grants Congress and the states, not the president, primary authority over election administration. The Senate prepares to debate the Save America Act, and the fight over voter ID laws is once again at the center of America's political divide.